Hi, my name is Kelly Williamson, and I'm your plant-based kitchenista. Welcome back. Here is one we're going to focus on, which is chopping your vegetables. I have been spending an enormous amount of time pulling out all kinds of, celery, carrots, peppers, all kinds of different vegetables, and then just practicing my chopping skills. It's one of the things that I always thought I was doing it right, and you get really fast about cutting things really fast, but then you find out that, gee, I wonder why I got that cut on my finger, or I got that scrape or something like that. And so you find out that you've got to have, the right knife, the right sharp knife. You've got to have the right kind of like a clawed look so you keep your fingers tucked under, all those type of different things. So the chopping your vegetables, I wanted to go through some of the chopping techniques and some of the ways that the different ways that you can chop vegetables. I know that there's going to be tons more out there. There's all kinds of things, but I just did some of the basics just to kind of get everybody started. So let's look and go ahead and look at those different ones. So the first one we have is the julienne. So you've got the 1/8 inch, so it's really very thin, and then it's 1 to 2 inches long. It's a lot of times used for stir frying. It's absolutely beautiful in stir frying. Or it's one of the ones that you can actually saute in a pan or steam and then put it as a side dish, maybe next to a vegetable patty, etc. It's one of my favorites. I love the really thin vegetables, and I love them especially on salads. I mean, they're absolutely wonderful. So the next one is the batonette. So it's 3/4 inch. So it's a little bit thicker. It's very close to the julienne, and it's 1 to 2 inches long. So almost the exact same thing, just thicker. It's really good, especially if you got celery and you want the vegetables to hold up and be more crisp. They're great. So a lot of times used for side dishes or for stir frying. They're absolutely wonderful in stir frying, especially if you happen to cook them a little bit longer than you really wanted to. They're really good. Love them. So the Brunoise pronunciation. So I actually put the pronunciation up there. It looks like it's easy, but when you try to say it really fast, it doesn't always come out correctly. So it's 1/8 an inch, so it's little tiny squares. It's a lot of times used as a garnish or in consommes, or sometimes your mirepoix. I've used this a lot, and we use it, little tiny pieces of it. Love it. Nothing like within like Moroccan couscous. One of the things that I will show you is probably the recipe this week or the first of next week. I will do the Moroccan couscous. You're going to see where you do a lot of the rouage, and you're actually going to have to chop up all the different vegetables, and it's a lot of good type of skill. So it's really, really good. So the next one is specialty cut. So paisan, which everybody knows how to say paisan. Squared off vegetables, so it's very close to the bruoise, and it is actually used in garnishes and consommes. So really good type of vegetable, but it's called a specialty cut. Lozenge, love this one. It's parallel cuts, so you've got the long strips of your vegetables, and you're doing them as a parallel cut to give them that nice shape. I like these vegetables. I especially like them when you've got all kinds of like zucchini and different other types of squashes, because it gives it a really good kind of a chunky vegetable, and I love eating the chunky vegetable pieces. So you can use this in soups and all kinds of chunky vegetable dishes. Then you go to the oblique. So the oblique is very close to the lozenge. It's actually used for carrots or other cylindrical type of vegetables, and you actually cut everything on a diagonal. So very, very similar to the lozenge, and it's used a lot of times on top, also in soups, chunky vegetable dishes. I like them on salads because I like sometimes to be able to chew the bigger pieces a little bit, but most of the time the stuff I usually go for the julienne. So one of the things to think about is they always talk about practice makes perfect. Like I said earlier in the video, I definitely do, I bring in tons of celery, chop it up. One of the things that I found is like when you go into the bars and stuff and they have all the like the lemons and the cherries and all the different things that are in that, you can buy those, and they're really nice dishes. They have a little top cover on them, but what you can do is chop up all your different vegetables to learn the techniques of chopping, and you can put in your celery, your carrots, your mushrooms and zucchini, all those, and then you can have those and then just put in a bunch of great types of lettuce, throw in, and then just kind of go ahead and get the hand, just grab a little bit of the celery, a little bit of the carrots. But what a great way instead to be able to practice your skills. Love this. If you have any questions about where you can get those or a picture of that, I'm happy to share with you. So to practice a little bit more also, it's very intimidating to think about, you've got a chef knife that's really, really sharp because it's a brand new knife, and you're trying to get the fingers the right way, and you're trying to make sure that the knife cuts right and doesn't, take off the skin of your fingers, or you don't get sharpened or something like that. So one of the things that they talk about is to use one of the pastry scrapers, which I absolutely love, and you use flour. So you smooth out flour, and then use the pastry scraper so you can get the right technique down. And the good thing about it is when it goes against your knuckles, there's nothing to cut. So you can get really fast with that and then bring in your knife and start practicing that, especially if you're a little intimidated, which believe me, I fully understand. I got this huge knife set that I showed you in one of my videos, and it's very intimidating to think about how sharp those knives are and how it wouldn't take much to be able to cut your finger. But they always say you never get cut by a sharp knife, you always get cut by the dull knife because you're trying too hard. And then also learning the right technique to be able to hold the knife so that your fingers don't get tired or they don't get in the way is really nice. It's something that I've been spending a lot of time with, which I really like. So on this one stuff you'll see here, so Ruby is actually a cooking school that's out there, and they do all kinds of videos. So if you want to see how to practice or get more information on knifing techniques, this is a really good spot to be able to do that. So joining on my journey, so I've talked about this on every video. I have a blog, I have Google Plus site, I have YouTube, and I have Pinterest. So I have all these different sites that I post everything out there. I try to on Google Plus at least every day to send out questions type of thing. I'm actually probably going to hold a question this week and ask everybody a question who's out there. So eventually down the road, probably doing a few contests, etc., just to get everybody really interested in the plant-based lifestyle and the journey that I'm on. If you have comments, you have feedback, you come up with a different way to use the oblique vegetables or the julienne, please send me your comments. Please send me your information. I would love to be able to see that. So earlier in the video, you might have heard somebody that is, I guess, sometimes whines. So let me show you really quick. This is Georgie. She is my Havanese. She's not looking at me right now. So say hi, Georgie. There we go. Put her up. Say hi, Georgie. So you will see Georgie every once in a while. She's on my videos, and she likes to be up here wherever I'm at and likes to talk a lot. So watch for her, I guess. She's a great little thing, and she actually helps me a lot as far as in the cooking. She's happy to taste anything. So with that, I will go ahead and let Georgie go here. But with that, I will go ahead and say goodbye, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing. If you have any comments, any feedback, please send it to me, and watch for my next videos. Have a great night, and hasta la vista. Thanks. Bye-bye.